I'm very excited for this. I'm just very excited for this. 45 minutes is a long time. I'm kind of expecting like the whole game, or they're at least going to show gameplay for probably like a full race. I hope that there is other characters in it than just Kirby and Meta Knight. Like, that's kind of one of the real downsides of the original Air Riders, is it's really just, there's just really not that many options. There's a few different stars to ride on, but that's about it. Magalore is just a perfect fit for a Kirby racing game because he already has his own ship. Just make a mini version of the Star Cutter and there you go. He's in the game. Yeah, I have absolutely I honestly almost just don't know what to expect. Are they going to expand on the uniqueness of Air Riders, or are they going to maybe dial it back a bit and make it more like a usual racing game? I'm not expecting a usual racing game, of course. I definitely think they're still going to stick with most of what made the original Air Riders so unique as a game. I haven't played much of the original Air Riders. It's one of the games that I don't actually own myself. I've played it at friends' houses, and I've played it through other means. But I don't own the game, which is crazy. I really should get a hold of a copy at some point. I own basically every other Kirby game that exists. I would like it's the one series that I want to have every single game for. Everyone wants the city trial to come back. Let's hope. Let's hope. I'm hoping this shit looks like beautiful. And we get to see like various different locations of Dreamland. Or Popstar, rather. Dreamland is one section of Popstar. It's 8 o'clock. And it hasn't started yet. Oh, there. No. My bad. Okay. Oh my god! The song! Hold on, I'm gonna okay, we got Wheelie. I'm gonna turn down the audio a little bit. I'm a little worried about the audio being too loud and getting like copyrights. Does it have... Captions are unavailable. Why is making a game so hard? I don't know, Sakurai. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna... Why it's called Kirby Air Riders? Okay, I'm just moving the thing up so that everybody can see the subtitles. Oh! Yeah! Okay, we got at least 4 of the gang. Kirby is here! DDD had a brand new model. That wasn't even close to resembling anything from the games. It's more like Smash DDD, which makes sense. This is the design that Sakurai likes the most. Sorry, I'm just moving the screen around here. Okay. Banana D. I'm just thinking of what their airships with Kawasaki. What their ships would be called. I'm thinking like Meta Wing. I don't know. Kirby was basically your only... Yes, which was the part that was a shame. It was a gosh darn shame. Head of a software development at Nintendo. Really? And HAL Laboratory, okay. Is Bandai Namco Studios, not HAL Laboratory, but is there going to be HAL developers in it? Okay, so we got the main four and also Kawasaki in the game. No Magalore, which is a shame, but at least having, like, more than Kirby is good. Kirby and Meta Knight. So basically, it's like Mario Kart. Feel the game is actually not the races. Yeah! Sakurai knows what's up. It would be cool if there was an unlockable character they didn't show. Oh! The startup was very fast. Kirby's little come on motion. Oh, it actually looks so pretty. I mean, I was expecting it to look pretty. All Kirby games look pretty. Air-ride machines, or machines for short. Love wheel. Don't call Wheelie a machine. He's a person. They're the riders. Fucking Kawasaki. I can't believe Kawasaki is here. Okay, we're still keeping this. I am really glad that the entire gang from Return to Dreamland is here. Imagine if they included Kirby, Meta Knight, and DDD, but didn't include Bandana D. There would be riots in the streets. Ah. Look at the backgrounds. Look at the rippling grass. There's a Cappy right there, cute. Special! Previous game you used a single button for everything. Unfortunately! What do you mean, unfortunately? Oh my god. The, Well, I can't remember their names. The little dogs, they just looked terrifying in that one shot. But others unleash attacks. Okay. I like that Kawasaki unleashes the toxic atomic curry. Nightwing. Okay. Cool. He just gets up off of his Spear Cyclone. It's both an attack and a supercharge. That's cool. And a super speed charge. I don't know. What? Cappy? Just gonna reveal the... Just gonna reveal a sixth racer like that with Cappy? Only Kirby has 4 specials, understandable. Yes, that is completely understandable. Yeah! Cappy is here! Hell yeah, hi Cappy. Even mushrooms can race and Kirby Air Riders. Sakurai seems to really like the super abilities. Specifically, I mean like the sword super ability. Kirby's final smash. Oh, wait a minute! Wait a minute! Sword Knight! Or Blade Knight! What the hell? Warp Star. No clear weaknesses. Winged Star. Okay, we're still going with the star naming theme. I assume some aren't going to be called stars. Like, obviously it'd be weird if Wheelie was called a star. Wagon Star. Maybe it is going to be called Wheelie Star. Wheelie Bike. Okay, yeah. Shadow Star. Paper Star. That one's pretty.
速いとか小回りが利くといった基本性能だけではなく仕様が変わります。
Bulk Star.
例えばヘビースターはチャージをためそれを燃料として
Oh my god. Like a giant engine on the back of it. Swerve
ウィンズ
Star.
スターは走りと止まりしかありません。プッシュすると止まるのでプッシュして向きを変えて飛び出すという走れます。ついでに言うと
Pretty stable.
かっこいい。
It also looks cool. So true. Tank Star. I gotta look out in the background. The fact that they showed Blade Knight racing and then didn't expound on that is crazy.
耐久性も高いです。
Riders.
前作ではメタナイトとデデデがかろうじて参加していましたがマシンを自由に選べませんでした。
Couldn't choose their machines. Yeah.
今回は自由に乗せ替えることができてよかったね。
Good for them. Good for them.
ライダーは他にもいます。
Rider Collection. Yes! My boy! Please bring the Lore Star Cutter into this. It's literally perfect. He literally has a ship. Gooey! Yay, I love Gooey. I love Gooey being in more stuff. I have the official Gooey plushie, like the only one that was ever made. Hey, Waddle Doo. It's him and his dinky ass. Oh, I wish I had my Bangalore plushie right. I didn't grab any plushies. Hey, Knuckle Joe. I love a good Knuckle Joe appearance. I get the feeling that Sakurai really likes the Susie! Sakurai really likes the anime still. Because Knuckle Joe also had quite a role in the anime as well. I mean, he was only in a few episodes, but like, he still appeared more than other characters. Cool that we got Susie. I wonder if Taranza's gonna be here? Maybe the team just liked Susie more, so it's like, they're like, yeah, put in Susie. Taranza who? Even though they're both 3DS characters. That's why I'm comparing them, because they're both from the 3DS era of games. Susie is probably the character that people like better, though. I love Susie. Cappy is such like a... Cappy is a really funny one because it's like... People who don't know shit about Kirby and are just watching this because it's a Sakurai presentation are like, who the fuck is Cappy? Okay, we saw a few different tracks there. Maybe wondering, who can use copy abilities? Yeah. I mean,
それはカービィの1000倍特許。他のライダーに対して有利というか楽しさに差が出すぎますよね。そこでいろんなライダーがコピー能力を使えるようにしてしまいました。なんと全てのライダーにそこまでやるか。やります。
Yes, we did. Everyone temporarily gets to have Kirby's powers. I mean, Gooey makes sense. Gooey's always had copy abilities. When we're on the racetrack, everyone's equal. Having Mike is fun. Oh my god, Cutter Magalore. These are like, I wonder if like Steel ball. Oh my god. Susie became an indestructible force.
ちなみにプラズマ能力はスティックをガチャガチャする必要がなくな
I
りま
mean,
す。
yeah, that would be insane.
自動でパワーがたまります。プッシュで発射。コピー能力は
Especially with stick drift. Oh my
単
god.
に攻撃するだけではなくスピードを上げるためのものもあります。
I wonder if like
コピーを
the
持つ敵キャ
idea
ラ
is
を
that
捉え
like
るに
the
は
hats
目の前で
in
プッ
this
シュ
game are like artificial copy
つ
abilities.
まりポンと
That'd be
ボタ
kind
ン
of
を
a fun
押す。
idea. Yeah, once again,
Kirby
Sword
を
Knight is
吸い込み
just
ですが、
here, and we're not talking
他
about
の
it.
ライダーではキャプチャーという技で捕まえます。コック川崎はオタまで捉えるなどちょっと特殊な
Is Sword Knight just like a non-playable character, just like an NPC?
コピー能力を持っていない相手を捉えたら星型弾にして
Probably not,
撃ち出しますなおコースを徘徊する敵キャラを倒すとはライダー単体で歩くこともあります。
Oh my god, it's the jump guy. I don't remember his
新
name.
キャラを出しましたが
Starman, that's what his name is?
キノコのキャピーも含めてもともと雑魚的だけれど
I mean, you've also been casually revealing Blade Knight for some freaking reason.
重視で出場しています。これを機にスターマンの可愛さに気づいてくれる
How
人が増え
cute
たらいいな
Starman is, you know what?
と
I'm happy for you, Sakurai. You get to have your funny little
つ
Starman.
まりレースモードについて説明しておきましょう。個性あふれるマシンとライダーでゴールを競うものですね。最大参加人数は
I'm so happy that Magalore is here. You have no idea.
増やすことは可能なのですが、適切に1位を競うのはこの白い砂浜、ラテンが流れていたりして、喉からリゾート風味になりがちですが、このカービィのエアライダーはそんなに甘くはないです。ご覧ください。
Oh god. Hardcore ocean. Okay, yes, this is what I was expecting.
あーすごい。
Oh my god.
なんてのんびりしてる場合じゃないですか。
This is like that scene from the Kirby anime where the fortune teller woman turned into Moses and parted the
そ
sea.
れを捉えることでスピードアップすることができます。また自身が敵キャラクターとかライバルを攻撃するとその分スピードアップすることができます。攻撃によって相手が
This is quite
というのではなくて
a lot visually.
攻撃によって自身をスピードアップするというそういう遊びなんですね。今カッター能力とかで徐々にスピードアップしてますけど、そして大渦、そしてもう水の
I do like the music. I'm hearing it.
コンセプトで、
But yeah, this is what I was expecting from a stream that was 40 minutes. I was expecting them to show a full race like this.
よ
Phew.
し、はいフィニッシュ。
That went by so fast. Oh my
これは
goodness.
気持ちのいいやつですね。気持ちのいいゲームですね。こういうふうに
Kirby.
攻撃行動はいろいろあるけれど、それによってスピードアップをしていくという遊びが見て取れたのではないかと思います。
There's 6
あと
places.
海の面ダイナミックですね。音楽も含めてコースは密度高くよく作られていると思い
I think
ま
it's
す。
designed very well. I
同
think
じ
so
ような
too.
ところがあまりなく、
Isn't a whole lot of
く展開が
repetition.
変わります。
Okay, courses. Flora Fields, beautiful, gorgeous, incredible, stunning, breathtaking. Ooh. Very cool. Siberian Highway. Mount Amber Falls. There's a giant onigiri.
先頃のプレイでも使っていましたが、
Knuckle Joe on wheelie goes so hard.
をご紹介しておきます。まずはスタースリップ。
Star
マ
Slide.
シンは星をまき散らかし
The
ながら走り
machines
ますが、
scatter
その
stars
星を
during
得
a
ることで
race, and if you
スピ
collect
ードア
these
ップ
stars,
で
you
きま
speed up.
す。
Okay.
つまり後続有利。ライバルが走った軌跡
Sort of
を
a similar
捉えてい
thing
き
in
ましょう。
Mario Kart too. I don't remember what
そ
it's
して
called
ライバル
though.
や敵キャラへの
In Mario Kart.
ヒットそう遊びです。
Yeah, very high octane in comparison to something like Mario Kart.
オンラインでフレンドではない誰かと遊んでいる時にはフィニッシュ後さっさと次のセッションを探します。他の人のゴールを待っている必要はないのですね。
Okay.
次々と遊んでください。
That's pretty good. Turbo Star. Slicker Star. Got little pearls around it. Rocket Star. That's so cool. I like the look of this one. Rex Wheelie. Oh my god. Wheelie gets intense. Battle Chariot.
エアライドでは周回数などのルールを設定でき
Game
るん
rules,
です
such
が、
as the number of
その
laps.
中にはゲーム速度をスローにする
Okay.
項目があります。
That's good.
これは初心者の方にうってつけ。
Okay. That's good. City Trial. Here we
シテ
go.
ィトライアルを説明します。ここがメインディッシュ。ファンの方もこれを待っていたのではないかなと。
He
前作はある
knows.
程度の広さを
He
持った
knows what the people
フィールドが
like.
舞台でした。今回も箱庭空間であることは変わらないのですが、今回はなんと空に浮かぶ島が舞台です。
All right.
その名もスカイア。
Bro really likes floating islands, huh?
人によっては長い付き合いになることでしょう。スカイアは限られた箱庭空間ですが、さまざまな場所がありま
Areas
す。
containing. You got Volcano. Urban District. Very cool. Plaza. Like the patterns. Caves. Subway station. Hey, Wispy. Truly everyone is here. I'm gonna increase the stream audio just a little bit. I don't want it to be too quiet, but I'm also just a little bit worried about it being
ゲームの流れをざっくりご紹介します。
it's really hard to
この
tell.
スカイアを舞台に自由に走り回り、マシンを見つけて乗り換え、
Oh my
16人
god!
参加できるようになりました。
We got Dark Meta Knight, we got
もちろん
Magalore and
オンライン
his
対応ですし、仲間と
Forsaken
スイッチツーを
Magalore. I don't know
持
what
ち
to
寄って
call his
な
appearance
お、
from
ローカル通信の場合はプレイヤーは8人まで。
supposed to 8
CPU
players.
と含め
Okay,
て
cool.
16人にはできます。
Am I just completely wrong
同
about
時
Blade
対
Knight
戦できる
then?
人は増えましたが、
Really
一
looks
人で
like
遊
he
ん
was
でも
on
面
a
白い
on
の
a
で、
star, but maybe he was
CPU
just
を
on the
好きな
ground.
数だけ入れて延々と試すのも良いと思います。与えられた5分で戦うスカイアの遊びについて、ゲームの流れとともに少し説明しておきます。
But yeah, I was saying
まず
Magalore
ライ
it
ダーを1人
had
選
his
びま
color
す。
palette from
マシン
Return
は
to
最初
Dreamland
ライ
Deluxe.
トスターという小さいマシン固定で選べ
The
ません。
Magalore epilogue look. I like compact star. It's
ライ
so
トスタ
chubby
ーは
looking.
扱いやすいけど弱い。そしてパワーアップを行います。
Unironically, Broom Hatter would actually work as a racer.
加速、最高速、
You give him a special
Senkai.
broom.
効力、攻撃力、防御
The
力
broom
な
star.
ど自身を有利にするものが落ちています。フィールドではさまざまなイベントが起こります。
Items became
翻
gigantic.
弄されたり、
Oh god, the
大
Gordos.
きく稼いだりとまちまち。ショートレースとデスマッチ。
Desktop Derby.
それらのイベントが始まると、フィールドのどこかにスタートエリアが生じます。早く入るとスタートまでの待ち時
Not
間にハ
participating
ー
is
フをもらい
also
続
a
けられます。
strategy. Interesting.
ボスが出現するイベントもあります。例えばクラック、
Krako, the ultimate
ダイナブレ
hater.
ードも前作から続けて登場です。
And the Dynablade theme is playing here. That's nice. I mean, I guess this theme played for quite a few bosses in Superstar, right? Not just Dynablade, but I do associate it with Dynablade the most. Oh god. Run, Bandana D. huge unidentified pillars. Krakos thundered on the scene. Krakos, plural? I guess Krakow can just like perform osmosis and split into several. Kirby Melee? Oh, the Return to Dreamland theme. I mean, it's just kind of a green greens theme, but it does make me think of Dreamland, Return to Dreamland specifically. I think it's meant to make you think of Return to Dreamland. Nice. Gourmet race, hell yeah. You get to race as DDD in Gourmet race?
はあ、いろんな競技種があるんですね。もちろん、育てたマシンに有利不利が生まれます。基本的にはスタジアム種は多くの中からランダムで選ばれます。
This is from the Great Cave Offensive,
まず
this song.
16人参加ということは1位になる可能性は16分の1しかないということになりますよね。中には100人で対戦をするようなゲームもあるので気にしないでいいのかもしれないけれど、あんまり勝ち目がないのも厳しい。それにせっかく育てたマシンがスタジアムのランダムによって勝ち目が一切ないというのもそのいい加減さが面白さかな。アバウトで適当だからこその良さもあります。まあしかしどんなマシンでもある程度奮戦できそうな手を考えました。今回は
So now, Stadium.
スタジアム種をランダムで出てくる4つの中から選べるようにしました。マシンやパワーアップの方向性などに応じて好きなスタジアムを選んでください。
Okay.
スタジアムの傾向は
How does this work when you're playing multiplayer though?
成長結果などによりおすすめマークがついているので迷ったらここに入りましょう。16人の参加者は同じく提示された4つのスタジアムのどこかに入ることになりますが、どこに誰が入ったのかはスタートするまで分からず、ここから駆け引きが始まっています。
Okay.
自分が飛行型マシンだからと飛行系競技を選ぶのも手ですが、
It is very good to make sure that people can't see votes. It's like, oh, they must have gotten a cart that's better in these
対戦を
stats.
避けてス
That's
ピー
why
ド
they're
系や
choosing that
障害
one.
物系に行くのもありですね。もちろんその裏を書いて突出した飛行マシンが飛行競技ではなくスピード競技に入るのもありです。なるほど、これは面白いですね。ではシティトライアルを CP 相手にワンプレイしてみましょう。 CP を11人で12人戦で試してみます。とにかく毎回展開がコロコロ変わるので取れ高が高いものになると良いのですけれども、観光重視で行ってきます。はい、始めます。最初のライトスターは弱いのでよく見て近くのマシンに乗り換えを行う必要がありますね。ウィングスターあるからそれ乗り換えて乗り換えは簡単で Y ボタンを
Love the Smash style announcer.
そう飛びやすくなったみたいです。飛びやすくなったからこれだったらプー
This looks so sick. Oh my god. The flying around looks so smooth.
なかなかいいかもしれない。自分の順位による報酬の2つがあります。まあだからとにかく稼ぐためには
He said that Wagon Star isn't very good, but I mean, there's got to be advantages to everything.
長く生き残った方がいいっていうことですね。
An
こ
advantage to
の落
each
ちているアイテ
different
ムなんかを
one.
駆使してなんとか頑張っていこうというような。
Maybe just during battles it might not be the best,
ラ
but
ッキー。
I don't know. I like the look of Wagon Star.
4人
I
目。
want to defend it.
うわーこれ儲かりすぎでは。とどめ。
Suffering from success. Too many power-ups.
じゃないのね。すんごい儲かってた。
I assume you could adjust the CPU difficulty, right?
だいぶスピードも速くなってまいりました。 ここ闘技場ですね。
This is a coliseum. I can see that.
だいぶ上に何かぶつかったけれども、とりあえず今のは気に
What
しないでおこう。
is there another? Let's ignore that. I refuse to ignore that.
そろそろ
Is there
時間も
another
少なくな
layer
ったので身の振
up
り方を
there?
考えなければいけない
Or is that
で
just
す。
so that it exists to be a
身の振り
cap?
方っていうのはどう
Make sure
い
you
うスタ
can't
ジア
go
ムが出
too
てく
high.
ることを想定してどういうマシンに乗るかってことですね。お、これはゴルドーが降ってきた。なんだろうこの悪夢のような光景は。でも自分は飛べるからね、みんな頑張って。
Oh,
ああ、こんなに
what is that?
すごいゲーム。
This game is wild.
な
Yeah,
ん
it
でしょうね、
is.
空飛ぶ島が
So
こんな
there's
たくさん
so
のト
many
ゲトゲウニに
Gordos.
支配されるっていうゲームってあんまないですよね。あ、そうだ。
You say spiky things? Bro, they're called Gordos. You created
ス
them.
ペシャル使っちゃいましたけど、降車できます。降りられる。降りられるけど、アイテムはその時拾えないですね。
Bro doesn't even know Gordos.
降
Can't
ろされ
believe
たり、
this.
降りたりしたらすぐに、マシンを乗り換えたりする方がいいと思います。5秒ぐらい。
What is that upper area for? Is it just for fun?
おしまい。
Go up there if you want?
音楽もぴった
Is
り
there
と
especially good stuff up there?
飛行13、そして加速も12。やっぱり飛行で攻めるべきですかね。重たさも上がってるので、反面防御力とかも少しずつ上がっていくと思います。だから何でもいけるな。何でもいける中でこういうのが出てきましたけど、
The recommended
やっ
is
ぱ
quite
り
nice.
おすすめに準ずるべきかなというわけで、ポイントストライク。これ2回のチャレンジで、より高い得点を取った人が勝ちというルールです。100を狙うよ。よしよし。見ての通り100にはシャッターがついていまして、そのシャッターのタイミングによっては全然狙っても取れないということ
So
があ
only
るの
4
で
other people are
注意が
here.
必要ですね。
Or 3 other people.
他の人たちの様子を見てみようかしら。いや、いいよ。また100を狙う。もちろん先に取られ、まずいねこのタイミング。危ない。今ギリでしたけど。ほらギリ
Is
だ
it only the people who choose that specific minigame are
そ
going
して下
to
の方カービィがちょこちょこさせてます
appear in
ね。
it? So if you choose one that doesn't have anyone else, are you just in it by
はい、
yourself?
1、2。
Or did I misunderstand
はい、お疲れ様でし
something
た。
somewhere along the line?
ナックルジョ
I
ー
might
が、
have.
ライトスターに乗ってますね。これは、
Duckle Joe is riding a compact
スタジア
star.
ムに入る前にマシンが壊されてたりなかったりするとライトスターに戻されちゃうと
I
いうことになる
see.
ので気をつけましょうということで、このゲーム面白いな。
It looks like a lot of
シ
fun.
ティトライアルでした。ところでアイテムについての新要素。
New item feature, okay.
アイテムは新しいものを拾うと上書きされますが、使用中のものを一つだけ取っておくことができます。
Okay.
コピー能力は毎回使い切りでストックできませんが、アイテムはストックに入り空きが出たら自動的に戻ってきます。ただし使いかけの状態で戻るのでご注意。半分使っていたら半分なくなっています。ほぼ切れている場合はストックされずに消滅します。スタジアムについて、たまにスタジアムが16人全員で一つに統一される
Automatically
ことも
selected
あ
for
りま
all
す。
players.
前作と同じルールということになりますが、この場合スタジアム選択はなしです。コース開始前に予告がある場合と、
Okay, so whether or not it happens is just random.
予告がある場合、そのスタジアムに有利そうなマシンはみんな欲しがりますか
I
ら、
want to take a closer
それも
look at those
駆け引き
recolors for some of the
フィール
characters.
ド時、アイテムの予言の書やアナウンスでスタジアム種を教えてくれることもありますが、アナウンスはたまに偽情報を混ぜてくるからご注意。
Sometimes
なお
the
今回は
announcements will
よ
contain
ーく見
false
ると偽
information.
情報を見破
What?
れるかも。
Bruh. Made
な
you
お
look.
一つのスタジアムには8人まで入場できます。
Okay, so you
人気
can
が
tell
集中して
sometimes
同
when
じスタ
it's
ジアムに
fake.
8人以上が入ると自動的に2組に仕分けられます。そこで疑問が、たまたま1人だけのスタジアムになったらどうなる
Okay, yes, this is what I was wondering. Kirby's like, oh my god. No contest.
あなたに敵はいなかった、大勝利です。一応その後、その時のライバルたちの性能を持った CP と遊ぶこともできます。これに勝っても負けても優勝になりますけ
You
れども
get the champ. You get to be the champion, but you still gotta race some
次のセッションにつなぐのはエアライブと同じです。好きなだけ遊んでやってください。
Hey John
参加人
Starman.
数が少ない時の対戦時は投票によってスタジアムを抽選することもできます。前作同様完全ランダムにもできますのでルールをいじってみてください。
They get
ス
random.
タジアムは
Okay.
同じ種類でもバリエーションがある場合があります。これはまたたっぷり遊べたもんですね。ファンに長年愛されたシティトライアル、ここに来て新作を遊べるようになりました。令和ですけど、ぜひお楽しみください。
Starlit Journey EN version. Oh, I want to hear. If this is the EN version, that means it's gonna be.
オープニングで少し流れてい
I
ま
don't know if
し
it's
たが、
gonna be multiple languages. Like if there's gonna be like more
マ
than
シンと共
two.
にある喜びをストレートに歌った
But I can't
歌
wait
で
to
す。
listen to both.
いくつかのコースの曲とともに任天堂
Later
ミュージックで
today.
この後すぐ
Okay.
に公開されますので、
Just the main
よろしけ
theme,
れば
not the whole
どうぞ。
not the whole soundtrack. I'd assume. Maybe you did see the whole soundtrack, but I didn't see closing.
単なるコミカルレースゲームではないことは伝わりましたでしょうか。
This isn't just a
元のゲー
humorous
ムは
racing
20
game.
年以上前のものですが、古さを感じさせず斬新な、
I mean,
しか
yeah.
も他のゲームでは楽しめない遊びがあると思います
Seems very new
今
and
回の番
improved.
組はこれで区切りですが、紹介しきれていないことがまだまだあ
A
り
lot
ま
of things
す。
we weren't able to
いずれ
cover, really.
さらに魅力を伝えたいと思いますので、ご期待いただければと思います。それでは
See you later, Sakurai. Oh, hell yeah. Man. Wait, what is this? What am I looking at? Wheelie. Why is Wheelie evil? Oh my god! Wait a minute, is that Dark Matter Swordsman? Hold on. Go back. No. Available. Okay. What dating system? Okay, no. The 11th, the 20th of November. Okay, that's the end of that. I'm assuming that's the end of that. I can't imagine there's more after this. Okay. I want to get a closer look at that. I'm pretty sure that was Dark Matter Swordsman, right? I mean, he doesn't really have a blue eye. Or was that, Actually, maybe I'm mistaken. No, that definitely isn't Dark Matter Swordsman. Okay. Sorry for saying it was Dark Matter Swordsman. That's definitely not Dark Matter Swordsman. I saw one eye and like long black hair in the back. And I was like, that's him. That's the guy. But no, it isn't. Definitely is not. That might just be a new character. Anyways. The music here is also like, I don't know why it's making me think of Star Wars. The music. I did want to go back and look at the recolors. There we go. This recolor of Waddle Doo is crazy. It looks so cool. I don't know why I like it so much. Yeah, this is the different coloration for Magalore. This is the Magalore epilogue coloration for him, but it doesn't have like the torn ear. I definitely saw a dark Meta Knight coloration at some point. I wonder if King Dedede is going to get like a King D-Mind coloration. That'd be cool. The Cappy seems pretty basic. Kawasaki's is pretty neat. I do hope they use some of Susie's colors from Star Allies that she had, because she had some pretty good ones in that. But yeah! Stoked for this game. Very excited. I don't know what this is. If this is something from the original game, I don't recognize it. Like I said, I don't own it. I've only played it a few times. Yeah, so I don't know. This is could just be a completely original character. So yeah, November 20th, 2025. That's a pretty good date for it. That's like a month after new Pokemon comes out. Quite a while after the Kirby DLC, which comes out this month. The Forgotten Land DLC specifically, I mean. I just don't know what else to say at this point in time. I will be playing this day one. I think that's probably where I'll end off the recording here. If I think of anything else to say, I'll put it in post. But currently, all I can say is that I'm just very excited. I'm very glad that they added in so many new characters. Very, very, I am tickled pink by that. Seeing Magalore always makes me happy. I love my boy. I love my weird cat wizard egg. The tracks look very cool. City Trial definitely looks very, very sick. I know he said that the races aren't necessarily always the main appeal, but I'm pretty excited to do the races. They look very high octane, very, very different from Mario Kart. I remember when both Mario Kart and this were announced, there was a lot of people who were like, releasing two mainline Nintendo racing games within the same year? That's ridiculous, but they're very different games. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye. Alright, so, I have had some time to think about that Kirby Direct, and I have quite a few things to say about it. So, starting off, I just want to get this out of the way, since it was the last thing shown in the trailer, and it's easily the most mysterious thing about the game. The Dark Matter character that we see at the end. And I am certain that this is a Dark Matter character, because there is a reason my immediate assumption was that this guy must be Dark Matter Swordsman, and it's because of just the way it's shaped, with the black hair flowing out of the top. If you look at just any artwork for Dark Matter Swordsman, that is exactly what that character looks like. This character is also depicted having one eye. There is a thing over its face, over top of where there would usually be a second eye, but they designed it in such a way that it has one eye. I am certain that this was deliberate to make it reminiscent of Dark Matter. Now, the eye is blue, which is atypical of Dark Matter. Dark Matter either usually has red eyes or just an eye that's completely black, like Gooey. Speaking of Gooey, the only other Dark Matter associated with the color blue is Gooey. I have seen some discussion about the game around already. I have seen quite a few people point out that this character looks almost like a Dark Matter version of Dedede, which is pretty typical. If this is a Dedede Dark Matter character, that would track with everything that has been in the games, considering how often Dedede gets possessed by things, especially Dark Matter. There is a bandana or bandages whatever that is on its face, covering up where DDD's beak would be. And if you look, it's wearing a crown that is very reminiscent of what DDD has on his head. Also, something to note is that aside from the fact that DDD is associated with the color blue, his skin or feathers, I've always assumed he's feathery because he's very bird-like. He looks like a penguin. His feathers are blue, so like the blue flames coming out of it works with the color scheme. And also his eyes are blue, which matches up with this creature having a blue eye. Also, I just want to say, this guy looks really cool. I like him. Even if he turns out to be entirely unrelated to dark matter, which I kind of doubt it, I think is really cool regardless. And that leads me to another thing about this interesting little thing we saw here. I've seen some people suggest, I didn't even think of this at the time, I've seen some people suggest this could be alluding to a story mode for the game. Some specs for the game have come out since the Direct. It requires a large amount of storage space. The game is 25 gigabytes in size. It's larger than Mario Kart World, which is at 23 gigabytes, and Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is at 8 gigabytes, which I can't believe that Donkey Kong Bonanza is actually that small. But anyways, so the game is very large, which is interesting. This could be because of music. Audio files take up a lot of space in games, you'd be surprised. A lot of games that are like fully voiced tend to have much larger storage needs than other games. So this could be because there is a large amount of music in the game, which is possible. However, this could indicate a lot more content than what we saw. And the leading theory seems to be that there's some kind of story mode in the game. I would love it if there was a story mode. If there is or isn't, it remains to be seen. I'm not going to get my hopes up too high for anything like that, but it is something to think about. I did see a video by YouTube channel TAHK0 or Taco. I assume it's probably Taco. They made a video about how in the original Kirby's Air Ride, there is a strange piece of content in the game that doesn't really get expanded on, in which there is an image of a dark cloud with spindly arms and 3 eyes. This is a weird little thing that's in the game but never seems to get expanded on. The video goes on to talk about how this could be some weird ancient Krakow. However, this could very well be something dark matter related. Now, of course, a dropped story idea from the older game doesn't necessarily indicate that it's going to be in the new game. But the old game did have, from what we know from Sakurai himself saying this, it did have a bit of a short development cycle. It didn't get to have everything that a much longer development cycle would have allowed for. And Kirby Air Riders, the new game, has had a very long development cycle. Sakurai has supposedly been working on this since he finished the Smash DLC. I think that's all pretty interesting. Once again, I'm not going to go into the game expecting this to be there, but I'm gonna be just a little bit hopeful. I think it'd be really cool. It would explain this large storage need that the game has, and I just think it would be really interesting. We haven't seen proper dark matter in any Kirby games in quite a long time. Void was very much dark matter adjacent, possibly the creator of dark matter, the birthplace of it, but we haven't actually had something that is called dark matter in quite a while. On the topic of a story mode that wasn't shown in the trailer, there is quite a few things that we could possibly get in the game that wasn't shown in the trailer. Sakurai did allude to the fact that there are some things that remain unseen, and some of these things we can maybe assume that there'd be more of are tracks. We saw a few tracks in the trailer, but it wasn't a lot, so there could possibly be more that we haven't seen yet, especially, once again, the storage is so high. There could be some tracks that we haven't seen. There could also be characters that we haven't seen yet. There's definitely plenty of Kirby characters that would be able to fit the criteria of being a racer. We could have a Marks. He could have like a special that'll have him growing his wings and lunging forward or something, or shooting out a beam or something like that. We still don't have Taranza. It's interesting that we got Susie, but not Taranza, because generally, at least by the fan base, these two characters are generally viewed as going hand in hand due to the fact that they are both the respective villain character turned hero within the 3DS games, Susie from Robobot and Taranza in Triple Deluxe. There's also the three Mage Sisters. Now, I'm not really sure how you would turn them into racers because of the fact that they have elemental abilities, and aside from Zan Partisan, all of the different colored Kirbys have those elements that the Mage Sisters are. The red Kirby does fire, the blue Kirby does ice. The yellow Kirby, however, does not have an electric ability. The yellow Kirby has Crash, I believe. So Zan Partisan could maybe get in. Who knows? You could always go with the funny option and have all of the Mage Sisters like stacked on top of each other on one star. That would be great. That'd be funny. But there is also, of course, Adeline and Ribbon. Iconic characters from Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards. Well, Ribbon is from that game. Adeline has appeared in 2 different games. Some people like to argue that actually Adeline and Ado are separate, but that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. But yeah, those two could be possibilities for characters. Honestly, you could even make them separate characters. In Kirby Star Allies, they were turned into one character, but you could make them separate in a racing game, because in Star Allies you had to make a full, kit for them, and with just one or the other, you probably would have a hard time making a unique kit just on one or the other, but when combined, it's much easier. But the beauty about Kirby Air Ride is that the characters don't have to do a slew of unique abilities. They need to at least have just one. So Adeline can have something to do with her paints, and Ribbon can have something to do with crystals. And I'm sure there's a slew of other characters that you could think of to go in here. All the animal friends, I'm sure, would work just fine. Some of them I think you might have a little bit harder time with than others. I don't see how Kine is going to be able to do a special move, but hey, maybe I'm underestimating the funny little fish. So, speaking of possible characters that could be in the game, I had mentioned in my reaction that it looked like Blade Knight was in the game, so that was a mistake on my part. In the original Air Ride, there was also a Sword Knight that was on the field riding like a machine, similar to how playable characters do, but Sword Knight in that game was just an ability, and this is likely the exact same thing going on here with Blade Knight. Why they choose to put him on a machine rather than just having him be on the ground, I don't know. It's a little strange to me. That's why I made such a mistake, because it looked like he was participating in the race. I don't know. But yeah, Sword Knight was in the old game, and now Blade Knight is in the new game. I think it's a little weird that Sword Knight has been phased out of Kirby. I like there being both Sword and Blade. They're besties. Bring them back together, please. So, on the topic of characters, let's talk about the character choices that are already in the game that we have already found out about. Of course, the Dreamland 4, the Dream Team, Kirby, DDD, Meta Knight, and Bandana D. Meta Knight and DDD were basically confirmed to have already been in the game from the very beginning, considering they were in the older game. I don't think there was any ifs, ands, or buts about that. They were going to be in the game. Bandana D is here. My boy is getting his justice. Good to have him here. It doesn't seem like there's any other Waddle Ds around in the game. I didn't see any, walking around on the tracks, but maybe I have not been observant enough. Waddle Doo was chosen as a playable character as well. That tracks. I think that's a pretty good choice for a playable character. You know, he's been in every single Kirby game. Waddle Doo is good. Visually distinct character. Everyone likes him. Beam Attack is the hot new Kirby meme. I guess it's not really new anymore. but it is still one of the more viral Kirby memes that have existed. I don't think Sakurai was taking memes into account when deciding on which characters are in the game, but Waddle Doo's iconic. Kawasaki is in the game. I think Sakurai really likes Kawasaki and the chef ability because Kirby's Final Smash in Brawl was chef. Kawasaki has always been very relevant. First showed up in Superstar. I mean, a lot of things in Superstar were formative for the series, so it makes sense. But also Kawasaki was a very prevalent character in the anime, which Sakurai also had a pretty large hand in. So I think he just likes Kawasaki. Kawasaki's was also in Smash Ultimate, of course, which is awesome. I like Kawasaki. I'm happy he's in the game. I'm happy he's playable. And then also, once again, bringing up the anime, the Cappy is here. I am, convinced the Cappy being here is almost entirely because of the anime. Because the Cappy, like Waddle Doo, has been in the game since the very beginning. However, unlike Waddle Doo, the Cappy isn't really iconic. When people think of Kirby, there is a slight chance they're going to picture a Waddle Doo in their mind next to Kirby. No one's picturing the Cappy. The Cappy's just kind of a little guy that throws a mushroom at you sometimes. They don't really do much in the games. However, the Cappies were huge in the anime. The place where Kirby lives is called Cappy Town in the anime. All the side characters are Cappies. So, once again, I think this is some sort of anime favoritism from Sakurai, which I don't mind at all. I quite like Kirby. Right back at you, / Kirby of the Stars. I'm very fond of the anime. I have very fond memories of it. People don't like how it adapts certain things from the games. I think it's fine. It's in its own continuity. It doesn't really need to be perfectly mimicking the games. But, yeah. So I do think that the Cappies are like a result of some favoring of the anime by Sakurai. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for the Cappy. And we got the other strange surprise character, the Starman, the guy that gives you high jump in a few games. High jump isn't in a ton of games. He's only in a few, and they're usually when you get high jump, it's scenario based. You'll be in an area where high jump is advantageous to have because it gets you up a tall building faster or something like that. You usually don't just get it casually in the game. It's one of the more rare abilities. And Starman is just a funny little guy. And, he's a weird choice, but I really don't mind him. I like him. I agree with Sakurai's comment that he's very cute. He's a star, and, Kirby is very much a game about stars. It's Kirby of the Stars. There's stars everywhere. It's the big theming of the game. It works. It works to have this funny little star guy wearing a cape in the game. And I'm sure him having the high jump ability works as a special. I'm here for Starman. Sakurai can have his funny little blorbos in the game. Even if it's a pretty unconventional pick for a playable character. But who doesn't like an unconventional pick here and there? And then moving on to the other characters that were introduced. I popped off when Magolor was there. I am so thrilled about Magolor. Magolor is one of my favorite Kirby characters, my favorite Kirby character below Kirby themselves, and I just love him. I loved him since the moment I played Kirby's Return to Dreamland back in the day. And he really is emblematic to me of modern Kirby. I think he is the modern Kirby character. Obviously, Return to Dreamland is not a new game anymore. The Wii is considered a retro console now. That's crazy. But it's still very long after Sakurai left the studio, which is kind of important in what how a lot of people feel in regards to Sakurai's treatment of the series in Smash Brothers. We'll get to that later though. But yeah, Magolor is here. Super happy. I mean, he's also just a great character to have. I wanted there to be a lore Star Cutter themed machine in the game, which there doesn't seem to be, which is a little bit sad. but whatever. I have Magalore. I got what I wanted. They also added in Gooey. Gooey's an older character, but he's a good one. We all love Gooey. Who doesn't love Gooey? The Player 2 character in Kirby's Dream Land 3. First appeared in Kirby's Dream Land 2, but Dream Land 3 was where he was more relevant. Yeah, I wish that Gooey was in more games. I wish he was the de facto Player 2 more often, especially since he can have copy abilities. Like, I love Bandana D, but I really do wish Gooey was the Player 2 character in Forgotten Land. But it also makes a lot of sense for Bandana D to be the Player 2 in Forgotten Land, because Forgotten Land had such a focus on collecting Ds and having this Waddle Dee village. So, like, it still... Thematically, it still worked better for it to be Bandana D. But I don't know. Thinking about just, like, playing as a Player 2 in Forgotten Land, I think it is still better to have a character who can have copy abilities, which Gooey can. I was saying that during the Direct that everybody having copy abilities is so strange to see, except for Gooey, because he's supposed to have copy abilities. That's his thing. He's like Kirby in every way. And then we also have Susie. Awesome. That's great. It's great that Susie is in the game. A significantly more modern character than Magalore. Really, she's the most modern character here. She already revolves around machines that you ride around on. So, like, she's kind of perfect for riding on the more, like, mechanical stars and chariots in this game. So, yeah. I'm really happy with the roster we got, and if it does turn out that there are more unrevealed characters, then that'll just be even better. Even better. But as it is now, I am quite pleased with the roster. So that does bring us to the topic of the whole Sakurai doesn't like modern Kirby's debate that started in the Smash community. I never really believed in this idea, and I am happy to see that this game sort of dashes aside those speculations. Yeah, I never believed it. I did, however, believe that he was uncomfortable dealing with the material of a game that he created and no longer has involvement with. Like, I can kind of understand from a creative perspective seeing these characters from something you made that you don't recognize and that being, like, sort of weird and perhaps avoiding it as a result. However, I don't think that's the reason he didn't include any, like, Magalores or Bandana Ds in Smash. I think it was just because he just thought there'd be characters that were more interesting to develop for that game. I would have loved to see Magalore in it. Bandana D would have been nice to have in the game because he, once again, fills in the squad, the Dreamland squad that began in Kirby's Return to Dreamland. But regardless, the point is, none of these characters ended up being in Smash, and it caused a lot of people to get frustrated with the idea that perhaps he wasn't including these things because of the fact that he made Kirby and he didn't want to interact with anything from modern Kirby. And of course, there had always been modern Kirby references in Smash Bros. But I think a lot of people just didn't count those since they weren't anything as major as a map that you play on or a character that you play as. So, like, Meta Knight had two different colorations in Smash Bros. One that looked like Galactonite and one that looked like Dark Meta Knight, both from games that Sakurai had no hands in developing. And then also DDD's Final Smash is from Superstar Ultra with Masked DDD, and Kirby's Final Smash is a super ability, which is from Return to Dreamland, which is very far from anything that Sakurai developed. But yeah, so I definitely think Sakurai beat the allegations with this game. I think he's gained a lot of goodwill with Kirby fans who felt embittered because of this. And yeah, I'm just really happy with this game. I'm very excited to get it in my hands and play it. Like I said, I never really got to play much of the original game. I had a GameCube, but just never had Kirby's Air Ride. Played it before at other people's houses, but never really played it a ton. Not enough to really get a good grasp of the game. And yeah, this game just looks like a complete and total improvement over the original in every way. I mean, online on its own, makes the city trial just so much more. I don't think I need to add anything after that. Just so much more. Getting to play with real people frequently, even if they're not in your house presently, is great. I think that's about all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed watching my ramblings and speculations about this game. I hope everyone else here is just as excited for the game as I am. So that's about all I have to say here. We'll close out the video right now. Only thing I really have to say is if you care to, subscribe to the channel. I promise I'll post here more often. I really got to edit some of my streams more often. Speaking of my streams, go check out my Twitch, where I stream. We play all sorts of different games, a wide variety of different games. Also, if you want to keep up with my schedule of those streams, go ahead and check out my social medias at my Twitter and my Bluesky in the description. And also, I will have an invite link to my Discord, which has quite a few people in it from my stream chat. We talk about video games, we got memes, have an art channel, and the Discord is easily the best place to get updates on my schedule because it always gets everything first. And also, there's a bot that will immediately notify you when I begin streaming at any given point. I hope you have a good day or night wherever you are, and goodbye!